welcome to Cannon Crew, a weekly podcast discussing the Charleston Battery. Your host Granite will be joined by other defenders of the fleet from the black and yellow supporters section, and together they will help fortify and conquer. They are the Cannon Crew.
Welcome to the Cannon Crew. I'm Granite, and I am joined by the ever lovely Patrick. What's up?
What's up, puberty?
Not much. Ryan, he's speaking to you. Ryan's silent. He is silent. So you had a little trip to Ohio there, Patrick?
I did. Yeah. As expected, miserable, but got to see family, which was great. And got to be reminded why I don't live there. 80 degrees, 2 days later, snow.
Nice. I think I saw a picture of that. Ryan, how are you?
Doing good. Midway through building my son's first play set, like outdoor playground area. So it's been a little task this afternoon, but going to get back to it here shortly.
Cool. So last one, I didn't get out the podcast because I had some technical difficulties, and there was this thing called Good Friday, and I was doing churchy things. It's kind of fun. I'm known as the chicken wire cross guy because I carried the chicken wire across the front of the church so they put flowers in. Pretty cool. So let's talk about the two losses.
Do we want to though?
Okay, fine. Let's all in favor of not talking about it, say aye. The ayes have it. Okay, let's talk about the not loss. Let's talk about the raid into northern part of the country. Not really northern, but northern from here, from the bluegrass area. We used to in the Army, it's in the artillery, and they had these things called 2-gun raids, where they basically had a helicopter pick up 2 cannons, carry them far off, and then they'd drop them, and then they'd shoot some rounds, and then come back. And that's what I was thinking the whole time. This was a big 2-gun raid up in Louisville.
The horses are dead.
Ding, ding, ding. Down with the
They may be too focused on the Kentucky Derby way too early, but they died. I'm sure we'll get into specifics, but what a game. To credit to the players. Play until you hear a whistle. I think we've all heard that since we were 4 years old.
Yeah. Play till the whistle.
I haven't seen it though. It's good to see it.
It's good to see it. So this means when you're a keeper on the opposing team, you raise your hand. That means everybody stop, right?
He has a question.
Oh, okay. That's what it was. Was the ball in or out?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, insane. We maybe weren't the best, but we weren't the worst. I'll say that. We weren't the best we've ever been.
We're the best on the day.
And I will take Louisville at their worst. We had, I assume the last talk is the one that didn't go out, where we talked about if we could get maybe a point from Louisville, we would all be happy campers. And you must have sent it just to Coach Pirmanns, because he was like, "No."
I did. I said, I'm not going to produce this out. I'm going to put it out to public, but 5 at the back, baby. 5 at the back. My idea, Ryan is kind of on board with it just a touch, but 5 at the back.
I've been saying, you can go back and listen to the podcast before. You can hear what I'm saying. 5 in the back, transition to a 3. You have the center backs to do it. And by jolly did it look fan-freaking-tastic this past weekend watching it. I mean, if you wanted to compare how the Battery played this past weekend compared to how they played in the past, that was almost identical to our home Eastern Conference final win against Louisville when we won 2-1 at home. That game was electric. This game was nothing short of that. And at the same time, we were absolutely fortified in the back. Zoo came alive. About time. Very proud of him. Very happy for him. Got team of the week. I think he rightfully deserved it. And I think we keep growing. Can we keep that consistency? Midfield and a lot of big players showed up for the Battery who haven't, made names yet for themselves this entire season. And I'm very proud of Laurent as well. That was the guy who I've been talking about getting on the score sheet, getting his name in the Battery's list. and he made his start this game, which I thought was a really big one for him to get the start of for not starting in previous games,
Huge.
and he delivered.
Let's talk about a couple other things, right? It was Ikaza's 100th match with the Battery,
Kaz's 100th match.
and
It's awesome.
and also Coach Pirmanns' 100 win or something like that.
100th USL win.
Yeah, and he also Coach of the Week USL. So, and this was a coaching coup. We've kind of been not necessarily negative on Big Ben, but Big Ben, we're like, okay, you got to do something a little different, and he came out doing something different.
I'll say we're negative on this matchup because this matchup, it seems like he doesn't learn that they're going to try and counter, and that's what they've done every single game we've played them in the past, and they've gotten goals quickly, and we've looked flat, we've looked dead, we looked tired, and we haven't fought back. It looked like we gave up a lot, especially in Louisville, and this totally changed it. So if we're going to throw a few more numbers out, this is Louisville's first loss of the season. They were undefeated. 4 wins, no losses, no draws. And I believe 26 game home winning streak snapped. So suck it.
It definitely feels good for it to be us giving that to them as well. And at the same time, for the Battery, it kind of puts us in a thing of, we had an opportunity last week with Detroit and how unique that game is in itself being held in Detroit. So we know what that means. We asked for what to happen this week to happen last week. Did it have to take going to Detroit for this change to happen leading up to Louisville? Do you guys think that had to happen? Or do you think he was kind of like, he knew it was already going to happen and he was kind of like saving it? It's just your opinion.
I think after Detroit, mindsets change. Said we've got to do something different. We've thrown different players at the problem. They haven't been able to solve it because we're using the same system. And I think finally somebody said, "Hey, let's change systems and see how that works for us."
I think we also got to see what the Battery worked hard in the offseason on, and that's getting some height in the box and some players who react quickly. We're not taking an extra touch. So we get to see a little bit of that. We also got to see Suber play maybe a little more defensively and not in, I'm not going to call it no man's land, but in a position that Pirmanns using him in. And so him slotted back a little more comfortably. I don't know if this is going to do it and it's going to be the spot he's going to thrive in with us, or he's going to kind of like in a month or two get it together with CDM role and kind of push forward and be that rock. But I'm happy we put our defensive player of the year stud signing in the back to kind of, I don't know. What do you think, Ryan? Give Zamudio a little more confidence? He played a hell of a lot better.
I think it gave him all the confidence in the world, and the mere fact that this is their second shutout this season. I believe it's the second shutout.
Yeah.
So to have it against this caliber of a team as well, the goals that we have sustained this entire season have not been. I think, you look at the Florida Badgers game, the UPSL team that we faced. I mean, the goal was a worldie that he scored, but it's the mere fact that, we go up against Louisville and shut them down and have the highlights that we're able to have finally, after every single team that we faced against last year, having their goalkeeper always play outstanding and us always going on the opposite end of it. It's about time. It felt like for us to break through like this, and can we keep the consistency?
Yeah, and let's not forget, we previously talked, the one that probably won't come out, but this was kind of can Pirmanns ever do it? Can he tactically, this is the hump the Battery has to get over in the regular season to show this light in the postseason that I think we worry too much about our next round matchups. Do we get Louisville or do we get a big name? And we tend to lose our playoff games because we're focused on the next round of We're too scared going into it almost because of what happens in the regular season. But this is a great turning point for the Battery. We can beat Louisville. Louisville isn't this on a pedestal team that is just going to rotate players and somehow always get it done. I think this was big for Coach Pirmanns, more so than the team itself.
I do too. And to get your 100th win against Louisville in Louisville, I mean, that's just stamping in itself right there.
Maybe that's the reason why we threw away Detroit.
Well, I mean, I started thinking about that too, and I was like, but Detroit at home in Detroit, like that would, in your hometown, like that would have also been significant as well. But, you know, Louisville is pretty darn significant. I mean, 20 games home streak snapped, 12 losses. Was it 12 losses straight against Louisville? Us to Louisville?
Not losses, but we've 8 losses and like 3 or 4 draws. But anyways, yeah. They've been unbeaten by us in 12 matches. I think it's 12.
Okay.
But,
yeah, that's not counting postseason.
Yeah,
that's just right.
So what we saw was we are the possession team, right? And we usually get killed by teams that transition quickly and play deep. And we switched this game state on from the beginning. How much?
Yeah,
how much? Yeah, how much did that affect Louisville's game plan?
Mentally, oh my goodness, mentally, you could see how frustrated the midfield was because I've never seen a game where, again, until that Eastern Conference final, where the Battery, especially in the midfield, were able to match the entire game, match the Louisville player off the entire game in transition. And what I mean by that is tailing him, following him, putting immediate pressure on him the moment they're transitioning in the midfield, allowing for no turn, no options, or you're coming in tackling. And you saw the Battery putting all that in on display in the midfield. Yeah, Louisville still got some chances and had some worldies, but I mean, still kept the clean sheet, and they worked extremely hard for it.
I think it's important for our team to understand you don't have to possess every game. You don't have to be the team that always has to control tempo. You can go in, let another team kind of dial it back and learn from it. Like, if there's a team to play against that you understand they sit back and wait for you to make the mistake, it's Louisville. And it's kind of nice to go in there and flip the table on them and be like, you have the majority of possession. It's fine. We'll flip this script. We'll get set piece goal. We'll get a long ball, cross it back in, and play to the whistle. There's no whistle. Okay, it's on you. Like, it's nice to see that we don't have to play the same every single time we go out.
Yeah.
We can switch it up. And I think that has been a knock from me on Coach Pirmanns, that he really just doesn't change his style, no matter who he gets in playing wise, which, yes, you recruit the players that you want to play your system, but you have to adapt for teams because every team plays a little different and they do their homework on you more than you do it on them. So if you continuously play the same way, they have more tape and more ideas on how to break you down. If they see one team shut you down, they're going to take that and run with it.
So Pirmanns' whole thing is, since he's been at the Battery, I'm assuming before it was about possession. It was about, having a great center mid that could control the game, and Aaron Malloy was that guy. And so you play to that strength, and you play to that strength no matter how much it's costing you. And I feel like that's what we did in the past. And this is an absolutely incredible change, that we don't have that necessarily that one person as a center mid that controls everything completely like Aaron did. And so we had to adapt. And I think it's the key point, is the adaptation to be able to overcome that, that chink in our armor.
Yeah, and another thing that kind of helps our team that we touched on was Colton Swan. He was in this team. I think he brings something that just the defenders and everyone has to look out for, or he's always moving and in that position. He didn't get rewarded on this day, but he was sorely missed for the previous 2 games. And you can kind of tell I think he's going to be our player of the season. He is going to be that difference maker for the Battery.
You think so, Pat?
For
You
sure.
think so?
I think the way
Oh.
the team plays with him as opposed to without him, he's that last little bit of spark that kind of final third gets the guys going. Understands like, hey, it might have been a little bit too long of a ball, but he's going to give them the thumbs up. Like, yes, keep feeding it. No biggie. We're not going to have that head down moment, which we kind of see in games where we may have a little bit of a mismatch in areas and our midfield lacks. I think he's allowing our midfield to stay back a little bit more as a whole and collect themselves.
So let's talk quickly about the starting 11. Well, first, the weather. Did the weather affect anything? I know there's a little discussion there. Yeah.
I was watching it inside on a TV. The weather was fine.
I didn't feel any raindrops. I think they were talking a little bit about it on the broadcast about how there's a little bit of rain and how it could benefit Charleston, but it never did pour down like it'd really help out.
Granted, I got a quick question for you. Have you ever seen a Louisville stadium, no matter what, whether or not, this empty?
See, that's the next thing I was going to bring up. I can't tell how many were in attendance.
No, I sent it in the chat. It was just under 7,100 is what they recorded as their attendance. So 7,000, like
they must have lied.
50 something.
They must have lied.
That's what I'm saying.
There's like 85.
And there was nobody in that first bowl.
They might have sold that many tickets, but there wasn't that many people in the stands. And
so that's the other thing too, because I saw, and I kind of want to call USL out on this too, because they posted this the other day, and it was like, oh, their highest attendance records of the season so far, and then the lowest attendance records of the season so far. And it was like the number one lowest game was like Miami Hartford, bringing in just over 1,000 people. But we all know that Loudoun County played against somebody the other day and had under 800 people at the stadium. It was a record low, and they had a huge thing on it. It's like they continue to mismarket, and I don't know what's going on with like the whole player stuff still. There's still a lot of questions going on with the league itself. And it kind of leaves me questioning with Sacramento's owner coming out today saying, you know, they're building a 20,000 seater stadium with MLS in sight.
Yeah.
You know, they did not shy from throwing that out there, and it kind of just, you know, puts a question on the air of what's to come in 2027 when the pro rel comes in.
Well, they should go to MLS. Worthless.
Yeah,
we're a week away from tax day, so
yeah.
I think a lot of numbers are being adjusted.
You say a tax day or tax day?
Tax day.
Okay. So talked about the attendance, which looked like maybe it's just a big stadium and people are spread out. I don't know. You would think that if people are paying for tickets up high and then you realize you're not sold that many, might as well let them sit wherever the hell they want to.
It could have been raining and they could have been just hiding up underneath the awning.
Yeah.
It's a big matchup, I think. I mean,
it is.
This is usually sold out, thumping crowd, no matter the weather.
This is a sold out. It's a sold out game. When they come to Charleston, it's going to be sold out.
And hopefully it's raining. No, I'm just kidding. The pitch looked good, though. The pitch looked really good. Good state. I mean, even though it was raining, it wasn't raining that much, you know, a little bit, but it still, you didn't see standing water like sometimes you might see on our pitch. And the grass looked fantastic.
Grass looked green.
It did. It was worth 2 goals for us. But anyways, maybe that's the reason why we're so quick. So we had attendance. We talked about what else we want to talk about on that?
I think we've touched on in previous weeks. Caicedo playing and maybe not getting his groove, but I think he had a phenomenal game.
I think everybody had a phenomenal game. Is there anybody that didn't? Does anybody stand out that you just went? I think everybody did their job.
Maybe talk about subs. So like maybe Barry,
Wait.
but you're also coming on and it's not the pressure's not on you to perform. It's kind of run around, pressure a little bit, and then sit back and kind of be that first defender. So
Yep.
Because
And Krill, the team of the week. That's a big shot right there, too.
Who's that guy?
Our midfielder, the Russian,
What's
88.
his last name?
Macomo.
I can't get the 8. Can I show both 8s on there? Okay. Well, anyways.
No.
Yeah, I don't know why I picked that picture.
Hey, realize that. That's
Yeah,
nice.
because he worked his ass off. I mean, he deserved everything he got. So the other player that I think was standout that is always going to be the quiet one is Kelly. If you look at his passing rate and the number of touches he had, it's pretty phenomenal. I think people had the most touches was, of course, Joey, and Joey had a phenomenal match too. But Kelly was, I think, kind of that, not the sole piston in the engine, but he was one of the big pistons.
Yeah, and you have a lot of guys coming off 120 minutes too. So
Yeah.
that kind of crazy that the effort's there from everyone. Pearl playing another 90 minutes here. Another toast to the Battery for getting some guys with a little younger legs in them to actually come in and come off the back of a 120-minute game, short like travel week again, and get up there and not get run to death, not get run past, and kind of hold your own. Because they didn't have a lot of chances, which, I mean, they had shots, but shots on goal.
They had no big chances, and they had only 3 on target. But they had, 11 shots? I think it's what it was.
10 or 11, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Caicedo's goal, because
Why?
it was
Beautiful.
It was beautiful just taking it first hit. Don't wait for a whistle. Don't look around. Don't just react. Because they didn't.
Right.
The goalie did
Wait.
react, but he just couldn't get there.
I mean, how many times have we complained that somebody takes too many touches on the ball before they take a shot, and he didn't? Beautiful volley. Beautiful. And even if what's his name? Baroque, whatever his name was, even if he was, not was waving his hand in the air, I don't think he would have got that one. I think it was such a rocket coming off that volley that there's no way he could have gotten in position. But that's
it's going to win most nonchalant goal of the year, because he was kind of just like, I'm just going to volley it.
Yeah.
Same with
Again,
the celebration.
Celebration was unique. I think with the volley, could you not, like, as soon as I saw it, I kind of like immediately had flashbacks to, Pavard's French his World Cup goal for France back in Brazil. Or was it back in France when I was in France? Yeah. Pavard for the outside back for France. It's that one-time volley across the box, and it was just like nonchalant, just kind of puts his leg up and just rocket across.
Let's go back to not playing to the whistle. So,
yeah,
these guys are professionals, and they know where the AR is. And the AR has got to look down that goal line and be able to see the whole ball go across the line. So what does he have in between him and being able to see that ball? One goalpost, a net, another goalpost, and a net. And they should line up those backs of those goalposts up with the back of the goal line so he could see it if it's possible to see it. And as a referee, you shouldn't call something unless you can see it. You don't try to speculate that maybe it went across, because that's not what you do. So as professional players, don't you think they should realize that and then doubly not stop and play to the whistle?
Yeah, as a professional, you don't stop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy to me that like the whole back line there, everybody just kind of stopped. Brooks' hand went up, and except for our guys, we kept playing.
But I mean, as a professional, though, you kind of understand when a ball is teetering on the edge of it's probably out. I lean a little bit more towards that ball is probably, if there was a VAR, maybe we're down to a centimeter.
That's different, though, right? Well,
but
we've seen VAR. We've seen VAR fuck people over too. But anyways.
For sure, this league is not based on VAR. You're based on
correct
linesmen getting there and making that call. Maybe a couple of years you can develop it into something that has this, but
until then,
Again, we don't see linesmen make a lot of calls in this league. They leave it to the center ref.
Yeah.
Which doesn't help the center ref a lot. They come under more scrutiny than they should. But this one was very close. I mean, it wasn't a very clear over the line. We're up in arms, because if it happened to us, I'd be pissed. But it didn't.
So Ryan is a keeper. What do you do in that situation? I mean, play the whistle. 4-year-olds. I mean, do you just stop playing when you think a ball's out?
No, you keep playing. It's on the players. Like when you're in training, this is what I always train my keepers for. When you're in training, the ball is never out until it's in your hands where you can take the break, or you punch it out of bounds or gotten it out of bounds, gotten it out of danger. But there's always the rebounds. There's always the immediate threat right after the shot's been taken, and you have to get that ball out of the danger zone. Again, for this take, though, it's how many times have we seen in this decade in modern sports now, where the team that has people who, 26 games unbeaten at home, they kind of have like a little attitude about how the referee should call the game. And we all know that certain types of players and teams like to feel like that they run the game and not the referee. And I feel like that was a reminder right there of, hey guys, you're actually not the ones calling the game. We actually have officials here. Play to their whistle, not y'all.
Except for the 2 yellow cards against our left and right back. Those were crap.
I think they'll bust the ball. I think they're dropping. I think they're fine. I'll probably look in them.
No, you should be fired for that.
Yeah.
Got no eyes.
Well, I mean, I would be giving them 2. So I guess I got no eyes.
One wasn't even a foul. Sorry.
Granted, let me be clear. When I say if that was us, I'd be pissed. I'm not because of the ball going out. I'm pissed
because
my defense, would stop.
Yeah.
Because, again, from 4 to 5 years old, you're told just play until you hear a whistle. That's why you still see people at professional level. The whistle goes, they're off dribbling.
Yep. Okay. So, how important was it to get the goal at 20 minutes?
Changed it, right? We're used to the ones getting scored on early or taking it into halftime 0-0. And I think for a team coming off 2 losses, you getting a goal in the first half really opens up the belief, hey, what we worked on in training this week is paying off. We did our homework. The coach told us these positions to get in, the shape we're doing that we haven't done yet. Everything's kind of clicking. It builds your confidence as a player, and it leads you into the rest of that game, not just going into a low block, let's just defend, but hey, we may be able to get one more, but let's just not make mistakes. We have the upper hand. Let's play smart.
Did it change the way we were playing? I don't think it did. I think we're still, I don't necessarily think we were in a low block, because low blocks are usually like 7, 8, defenders in the box. But I don't think it changed the game state. I think there was a clear cut plan by Pirmanns, and the team were executing it, and they stuck to it.
It definitely helps you open up the other team. Say the other team can't just kind of sit back. They have to be a little more spread out.
Yeah.
Try to drive the ball forward, which, credit to the boys, you can go and find these spaces to get into and create chances and get shots and create corner kicks that lead to more goals.
Especially now that we have more aerial threat and height and everything, makes us getting those set pieces and corner kicks more more enjoyable to get and more to watch. And you're like, we can actually have a threatening chance once, Not saying we weren't in the past, but man, it starts me thinking though. Have you seen Ruben Rubio in the last few weeks? I mean, just lighting it up for El Paso.
Of course he did.
Yeah. He's doing.
I think he.
Where was it for us?
I think he was distracted with us. I don't know.
With Guatemala and the what was it? The Gold Cup?
Yeah, it was. I think he was just distracted. He was getting minute. I mean, he's obviously flying everywhere and everything else. The huge thing for me too also is we had a clean sheet.
Second one of the season.
Yeah, but this is a big clean sheet. I mean,
This is the best
Yeah.
clean sheet. But it's probably going to be the best clean sheet of the season until the postseason. I mean, it's going to be pretty hard to beat this one.
so let's jump through halftime. Let's go to the next big moment for us, the second goal.
Yep.
This is quick reaction, quick touch. Don't hesitate. Don't take that one little touch here, try and cycle it back around, do anything. Just swipe at it. I mean, this is what you should be telling players. You see something in the box, you're in the box, swipe at it. Go. Have a hit. Bare minimum, it goes out of bounds. Oh, well. You could get a deflection. You can get a deflection goal. You can get a handball. You can get a foul on some other
Something.
player who's
Yeah.
going for it. Yeah. And I mean, beautiful goal, but that's what it is. It's something hit so quickly that a keeper or defender doesn't have time to react because they're not expecting it.
Exactly. And we've missed that. I think in the past, we've taken too many, touches on the ball and then end up, just squandering chances where this one was, like you said, it was just quick reaction. Nobody had time to see what was happening in the back of the net.
Yeah, and I don't want to say it helps not having a big name player who thinks they can do more than what they can do.
Yeah.
But it seems like these guys are more reacting to the ball and playing football correctly
do you think
instead
it's
of
youth?
being like, I can dribble out and maybe take a better shot.
Yeah. Do you think it's youth? You think, just being younger, you just more
Yeah, maybe a little
risk-averse?
inexperience at this level, but maybe you don't have these guys in the locker room, Juan David, that are all about me. It's more of like,
Yeah.
hey, like we're really gelling as a team. I mean, mind you, we talk as if the Battery have lost all our games because we're just not happy with
The play
not having a clean sheet. Right. We've lost one game in the league. We're 3-1. I don't know. It's nice because we see the play and we think it's negative. We're still kind of grinding some results. But I think we're going to get into a really good groove here in the next month
Yeah.
or two. And these guys are going to be unstoppable and kind of be able to lock it down defensively.
Yeah, and I think it showed that they could adapt and come out with good victory too. I don't think just because you're in a kind of a low block kind of situation doesn't mean that you've conceded anything to the other team. You just made them play your game, and so they might have had more possession. They might have had more possession. We always equate to control of the ball, but we showed that the times we can get down the box, we capitalized on it.
Yeah, and look at last year when we played Louisville in Louisville. They went up 3 goals in what seemed like a minute.
Yeah.
They could go into a low block because it's not on them to drive the ball forward or do anything. They can receive the ball, get fouled, slow the game down, take their time. I feel like we didn't necessarily slow the game down because we had way more fouls, but we didn't have to be the aggressor. We didn't have to be the one stretched thin or give up space to the opponent.
Yeah.
And I thought they did really well with that.
I do too. I love the match. I rewatched it today. I was supposed to be working. Hopefully nobody's listening to that part. But I was so impressed about how we were applying pressure when we needed to apply pressure. We weren't necessarily pressed them all the way back. But when we need to fall back, we fell back. You didn't have people standing around like you talk about, my favorite, Juan David. Sometimes he didn't get back like we needed him to. And here we didn't have that problem.
And it's a huge difference from the Detroit game where we're going in these 15-minute spurts of getting hammered and just like, mind you, this was 0-0 at this point in the game, but we just can't get the ball and make a couple passes. We're like playing boot ball, clear it. And I didn't feel like we had to do that in this game. I felt like we were way more composed, and maybe Detroit gave them a nice lesson that they learned and said, hey, boys, we're not going to do that again. But regardless, they came out, they played a hell of a game. They got a result in the most hostile USL championship environment ever. I don't care if the fans weren't packed out. Just knowing you go into this stadium and they haven't been beaten in 26 games is enough on its own.
That's huge. Yeah. No, hopefully that builds the confidence that where we need it to survive out the rest of the season. And know that no matter where we go, we can beat the other team.
Yeah, that's all you need as a team. At some point in the season, we will have more losses. We will have some games where we're like, how did we lose that? But I feel like as the Charleston Battery, this is the biggest hump they needed to get over. They needed to beat Louisville. Didn't have to be in Louisville, but it was a lot nicer. It was a cherry on top. This is something that Coach Pirmanns understands. Hey, if we get seeded lower because Louisville somehow has been getting this 1 seed and just playing lights out through the season, if we have to go to Louisville, we can do it again. And I think that's a big confidence for this team.
And it also gives everybody else that we play the rest of the season like, oh, they can come out 4 to back. They come back, come out 5 to back or 3 to back, whatever. They know that we can now adapt to different teams to get the results we need to get. And at the end of the day, my player of the match was not any player. It was been Pirmanns.
Yeah, I think collectively we all agree on that. We finally saw something different and not in some cup game first round of like trying a player somewhere else. You came into a big match, a highly televised, watched match, and you changed things up. You did your homework. You found out what was going to stop them, and we stopped them.
And not only just stopped them, but beat them 2-0. That's nothing. It's not like we snuck one out at the last minute of the match. We put one in the first half, and they attacked, and they come at us, and they were going down left-hand side like crazy, and we were still holding them back, and then come out. The second goal was another fantastic goal. Okay, that's all I got. Anything else you want to talk about?
I would like to touch on the U.S. Open Cup game. I think it's worth mentioning. We were down. We fought back. So there was that mentality of not just going 2-0 down, actually getting back into the game. I think the biggest point everyone's going to look at is, why is Vigo not in yellow and black? Why is he not in a yellow and black shirt? Why is he not on the bench? Why is he not playing for us?
I agree. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, how are we not, recognizing that talent? And maybe it just didn't fit in our system. Maybe it fits in that system better. I don't know. But when the USL one team comes in and does that to us, that's just kind of embarrassing.
And I get you're playing your former team. You got this little extra grudge. You want to beat them. You want to, bare minimum, you're not going to let them beat you in extra time, or you're not going to be the guy who gives it up. He went out. He sought that goal. He got it. His celebration was one as if he was like, this is why I should be there. You guys doubted me. I moved on. I'm going to get a professional. He's going to be back in the championship.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to be with the Battery, because I think he has a little sour taste in his mouth for
probably
not getting to stick around.
Yeah. I don't know if he got the chances that he should have gotten. But anyways. Okay. Anything else? Is that it? Brooklyn this weekend?
Yeah, Brooklyn should be a match we can go and win without too much thought. So I hope they just build on it, because then we have Tampa Bay at home the week after, and that's a massive match.
That's a massive match. Do you play the same team as we did against Louisville, or do we?
I think you do something similar. Maybe some of the guys who are subs, you can rotate in if you want to.
Yeah.
I like Colton Swan with this, kind of leave him in there. And my prediction for Brooklyn is he's probably going to nab one in under 10 minutes and set this team up on another game kind of, what's the word I'm trying to think of, like, he's going to just ease us back into this. We have an early lead. Let's settle down. We don't need to make mistakes. We don't need to be stretched thin and kind of control the game.
Exactly. And we don't need to give up the 3 points against Brooklyn. We need to get the 3 points.
We should. It's a new team. It's not a team doing well. I wouldn't be surprised if we play 2 forwards, honestly, because put them on the back foot.
Well, I'm saying that we shouldn't take it lightly. I think we need to go in there strong, get our 3 points, and then, they might be a little tired against Tampa Bay, but we know how those players play.
Yeah.
Advantage us, so.
Yeah, I personally, I'm most looking forward to Tampa Bay, not only because it's a home game again, but I like our defenders a lot more than I like MD Myers.
Yeah.
I like Nathan Dos Santos, but we all know he's not the best defender.
Nope. We know where his weaknesses are, right? Joey knows where the weaknesses of MD Myers, and Suber obviously knows the weaknesses of the Battery last year. So I think it lines up pretty good for us. But anyways.
Yeah, and I think Miguel Berry is a really good forward, and nothing against Leland, but I think coming off a year with a major injury and
getting old,
getting a little bit older.
Yeah.
I won't say old, just a little older. Is something you keep in the back of your mind. You don't want another injury to happen. And I think a lot of players, especially at the center back role, kind of lose a little bit once they go through a big injury.
Yeah. One last thing you want to talk about. Kit drop tomorrow?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know it was going to be
what it's going to be. Can we say?
I know what it's going to be. I didn't know it was going to be a cup kit mainly, and probably should have dropped this one a little sooner. But
maybe
it's a little homage to the OG season of the Battery. So look out for it. It'd be pretty cool. They also had, I think, a week or two ago, the Keeper 30th anniversary kit or whatever. I don't really pay much attention to the Keeper kits because I'm not trying to buy one. Yeah. I like the main kits. I like when we do these one-offs. I like when we do these cool designs. So, yeah, I'm excited to see it. It's a little bit of a bummer that we won't get to see it more. But
who knows? Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I like them. I mean, if anything, maybe we throw it into a third rotation.
Yeah. Okay, sir. We have droned on for 42 minutes and 50 seconds.
Let me get your Brooklyn prediction before we pop off.
So all last year I said 2-0. That was based on Juan David. I'm going to go with 2-0.
Juan David?
Based off of we don't have Juan David. We scored 2 goals, right? Don't we? We scored 2 goals.
Yeah, I think we get 3 in this one. I hope we keep a clean sheet. That's my main thing. I hope we keep a clean sheet. But I really think we can nab 3. I don't think if we have Miguel in there to start or Colton in there to start and they swap at some point, 60th minute, 65th minute, I think whoever comes on is going to grab another goal as well.
Oh, quickly, what do you think about no Blackstock? Played Martinez.
I think it's all right. It worked, right?
Yeah, it worked. Okay.
I love him personally. He's an awesome dude. Like, he's a great guy. It's just sometimes you have to switch it up.
Yeah, he's got the energy. He's got the anger. I don't want to say anger, but the couple tackles he did that were hard tackles, I was like, yes, that's what we need. We need somebody in there that's letting them know that, hey, you're not going to get away with some stuff. The yellow card that was against him was awful soft, but anyways.
It's very soft. We see a lot of soft calls now, and it's like we talked about with the linesman. I mean, you're just putting it like the linesman with these calls in the corner where they can raise their flag and wave it. They don't. And they wait for the center ref to make a judgment 30 yards away sometimes. And it's not on them, because if the ball rotates a lot through the center, they can't just run over to a corner. They got to stay pretty central.
To be fair, they're talking to each other. They're talking to each other on their little microphones. And I think they're trained, hey, let's wait and see what happens. Rather than stop the play, let's wait and see what happens. And if we need to come back, then we'll come back. But
what about the ref from last year? Do you think he turned his off? The guy who handed out about 15 yellow cards to our team?
Oh, no, he was just doing his own thing. He was a rogue.
Earpiece out.
Yeah,
throw it on the ground.
Yeah, we don't need that shit. It just confuses me. I don't know which pocket to reach into.
I'm going to call everyone over to talk to them, and then I'm still going to show them a card.
Yep, and talk ad nauseum. So just the discussion that went on and on and on should have been enough of a penalty or not, or disciplinary action. Okay, thanks, man.
All right.
Any witty outtakes?
I hope Ryan tirelessly works through the night to build this jungle gym, because I want to wake up to a picture of this thing and just ask him, did you double check all the bolts? Did you tighten them all?
We're going to come up with a whole list of things he should check. I think he just WhatsApped us. But anyways, okay. All I got to say is Ben Pirmanns is the master. Sometimes I lost a little faith in him. Just a little bit. But now just watching what he just did and able to flex, trust the process.
Yeah, keep them guessing.
Yep. Keep us guessing too, as long as you're winning.
Up the battery and get out of Brooklyn with medium weather and get back to Charleston, where we thrive.
Yep. Let's get some 3 points. Come back home. Okay. See you.
All right. See you.
There it is.